So for millennia, humanity has treated its oldest memories as fairy tales. We looked at the Sumerian cuneiform tablets describing Enki, the master of the subterranean waters and hidden wisdom, and we saw an agricultural metaphor. We looked at the pre-Vedic ruins of the Indus Valley and their obsession with sacred spiritual pools, and we saw primitive superstition. But what if we were misinterpreting a technical manual? What if the Abzu wasn't a mystical swamp, but a highly advanced, submerged technological facility? If we strip away the religious reverence and look at the raw timelines, a terrifying reality emerges. Enki is not a product of the Bronze Age. His cult centers date back to 5400 BCE, thousands of years before the first line of the Vedas was spoken. He is a pre-Vedic, antediluvian fixture, and he left his physical signature inside your body. Charles Darwin altered the course of modern science, but he died harboring a quiet panic. He knew his theory of gradual evolution had a fatal flaw: the missing link. The fossil record showed a sudden, violent explosion in human brain capacity and cognitive capability, entirely lacking transitional forms. Today, modern genomic sequencing has found the smoking gun. Every great ape on Earth possesses 48 chromosomes. Modern humans possess 46. Why? Because our chromosome 2 is a literal, macro-engineered composite. Two distinct primate chromosomes were fused together head to head. This isn't a theory. It's an undeniable cytogenetic fact. Right at the center of human chromosome 2 sits a deactivated second centromere and an array of internal telomeres, genetic sequences that normally only exist at the outermost tips of a chromosome. At the exact same biological window, the FOXP2 gene, the master controller of human speech, underwent a rapid, unnatural acceleration, suddenly granting us the fine motor vocal control required for complex language. Mainstream anthropology tells us that ancient cultures invented gods to explain natural phenomena. But when you apply comparative analysis to the global pantheons, the random chaos of mythology vanishes. What you find instead is a rigid, cross-cultural blueprint. Take Enki in Sumer. He is the lord of the Abzu, the primordial abyss of fresh water. He is the master architect, the keeper of the me, the digital blueprint of civilization, and the geneticist who molded humanity from clay. Look across the Arabian Sea to the earliest Vedic traditions. Enki becomes Varuna, the ancient custodian of the primordial deep and the absolute guardian of Rata, the hidden cosmic order. Travel down the Nile. He is Ptah, the divine architect who literally speaks creation into existence and shapes life on a potter's wheel. And he is also Osiris, the lord of the underworld, associated with the fertile, life-giving mud of the primordial mountain. And to the Mediterranean, he is mutated by the Greeks into Poseidon, not just a god of oceans, but the earth-shaker, the entity associated with underground springs, hidden subterranean vaults, and the lost high-technology realm of Atlantis. These are not independent fabrications. The semantic attributes match with mathematical precision: master of the deep waters, keeper of hidden blueprints, and architect of the human form. These diverse cultures weren't creating new gods. They were desperately trying to remember the same entity. Nowhere is this sheer memory more terrifying than in the descriptions of ancient global apocalypse. The Mesopotamia cuneiform tablets record the arrival of the Imkulu, the evil wind, a killing wind that desolated cities where people lost their skin and hair to the sickness, and the water was bitter. Mainstream science provides a highly rational explanation for this event. Around 2200 BCE, a severe planetary climate shift known as the 4.2 kiloyear event struck the globe. The Tigris and Euphrates dwindled. Relentless dust storms swept off the desert, bringing toxic minerals, destroying agriculture, and forcing the abandonment of Ur. Concurrently, the dying of the Sarvasti River forced the pre-Vedic Indus Valley civilization to migrate. But the mainstream explanation ignores a critical chronological problem. The Vedic traditions, compiled later but pulling from a much deeper prehistoric oral matrix, back up the cuneiform with terrifying consistency. They describe the Brahmastra, a weapon charged with the energy of the universe, producing an incandescent column of smoke, turning water to poison, and causing the hair and nails of survivors to drop out. If this was just a localized Bronze Age dust storm, why does the hyper-specific memory of a weaponized, toxic atmosphere fallout exist on both sides of the ocean? The probability scales tip toward a far more profound reality: the compression of time. When the cataclysms of the Younger Dryas destroyed a pre-flood world, their survivors carried the memories of a high-technology war and its devastating arsenal down through thousands of years of strict oral transmission. When the planetary megadroughts of 2200 BCE finally hit, the traumatized scribes of Sumer and the sages of India looked at the choking dust and bitter waters, and they mapped their ancient inherited trauma onto their current reality. They used the vocabulary of an ancient pre-flood global conflict to describe a modern climate collapse. The texts back each other up because they are drawing water from the exact same primordial well. We are left with a choice. We can believe that our ancestors were hyper-imaginative primitives who somehow independently invented the exact same gods, the exact same genetic engineering stories, and the exact same follow-up myths. Or we can accept that the data is screaming at us. Civilization did not start in Sumer, it restarted there. And the entities we called gods were simply the flesh and blood architects who engineered our awakening before the world washed away. And if you enjoyed watching this, want to explore any more reality co-creation or consciousness ascension, just hit me up, nogoodbreathing.com.